add that to the open offer price of 18 rupees and 60 paise, it actually goes up to about 32 or 33 rupees a share or so. So that's essentially the basic facts of the case. Joining me right now is Mr. Arun Goenka, Director and M&A Expert at AG Financial Consultants. Mr. Goenka, thanks very much for your time. Good to have you with us here. You are saying Nirma should pay interest.
Yes.
Why are you saying Nirma should pay interest? Let's just sort of revisit the case, which actually should provide us some clues as to which basically provides proof for your claim that they actually should pay the interest.
See, if we go back to the history of interest awarded to shareholders under the Takeover Code, it starts from the 1997 when the color can open offer was triggered. SEBI at that time had no powers to impose interest, and yet they decided to ask the acquirers to pay interest at the rate of 15% at that time. Some of the acquirers like BP, in case of Castrol, did pay the 15% interest, but others like Colorcam and Godia went on to the court.
Supreme Court.
Went up to Supreme Court.
Right.
And they challenged the SEBI's authority to direct them to pay interest. SEBI took an explanation that it is not a penalty, it is a compensation to the shareholders who were deprived of the use of the funds. And that is why the court took a view that in case of deprivation of the fund, if on the trigger date one was not a shareholder, then he has not been deprived of the fund. So that is why he need not be paid the interest.
So Supreme Court actually sided with the view that interest need not be paid to all shareholders, right? It should only be paid to continuous shareholders.
Correct.
Right? Then what happened?
But this was not a correct view as per the share market parlance or capital market practice is concerned, because all shares are pari passu.
Fair enough, but what happened after that? I think SEBI amended the
SEBI amended the rule.
Right.
Then to overcome this situation, SEBI amended the rule on 090902, that is 9th September 2002, and inserted regulation 44I, which said interest will have to be paid to all the shareholders whose shares have been accepted. And this Nirma open offer was essentially triggered in 2005. Then much after the rules were amended and 44I was inserted. Yet, for some unknown reason, the acquirer is claiming and SEBI is allowing them to go ahead with the open offer, which has really opened on 16th of Jan, with the clause that interest will be paid only to the original shareholder. Now, if you go behind why the psyche behind this, it is by this means the acquirer is able to deny more than 90% of the interest payable to the shareholders. So this is a huge saving for them. We have done some study, and in case of Colorcam and Falcon Tires and Godia, it was a substantial saving for these people. And I have been urging SEBI to follow the regulation as it is subsisting today in the statute book. There are two operative sections. One is 44I, which is applicable when the offer is delayed, and there is another section 2212, which is applicable when the offer once announced has the payment has been delayed.
So this
Now,
so this is the second case.
This is the second case.
Right.
But the acquirer, that is Nirma, is claiming that they are covered neither under 44I because the open offer was not delayed. They did not delay announcing the open offer, nor it is covered under 2212 because the offer was never completed. Which is absolutely an absurd situation. That would mean no rule will apply to them. This is not the case. The regulation 2212 says.
But what is their point? They are saying, the point is, they're saying that the interest should be paid from the time that the closure of the offer date, right?
No.
Once the offer is closed, the open offer is closed, Whereas Nirma seems to be saying that since the open offer did not begin in the first place, there is no point of closure of the open offer. Hence, this is not applicable. That's what they're saying?
That's what they're saying. But this is not correct. The regulation says 15 days from the date of the closure of the offer. That essentially means the scheduled date of closure.
Not the actual date of closure.
Not the actual date. Otherwise, the Act would have said 15 days from the day on which the offer has closed or closes. It's not saying that. And conversely speaking, then it would mean that anyone can go scot-free by adopting this explanation.
Right. Fair enough. So what is happening now? And I just want a disclosure from you. Do you own shares?
Yeah, I have some shares.
You have, and you've been a shareholder since 2005.
No, I have not been a shareholder since 2005. I've been a shareholder for might be a year or two.
So you are in that sense an aggrieved party, right?
Yes.
You are an aggrieved party. That's full disclosure, basically. Let me just ask you. So you've written to SEBI, you've written to Nirma, right?
Yeah.
The open offer is already underway.
Yeah.
So what happens now? I mean, what is where does this head from here?
Yeah, I've been seeking appointment with Mr. Sinha and Mr. Ravindran and all the higher ups in SEBI, but I have not been given any opportunity to meet and discuss with them. So the only options now available with us is A, either to accept it, or B, to move the court, might be SAT, might be High Court or Supreme Court. I'm examining those options available to me, and I, for one, is very much perturbed and would not like to leave it at here. So I'm in all likelihood going to escalate it further.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, is it you alone sort of fighting for this, or is there a bunch of investors who are taking this up?
No, there are other investors as well. But essentially, rather than taking all along to sign the papers and things like that, for the sake of convenience, I'll be moving it all alone.
Okay, so you plan to go to higher authorities on this, right?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Mr. Goenka, good luck with that. Thanks very much for your time. Appreciate it very much. That's essentially the case as far as Nirma is concerned. What we'll try and do is we'll try and have Nirma's bankers or the management at the company join us, as we go along, and we'll try and put some of those concerns which Mr. Goenka has raised here to them, try and see what they have to say about this. So we'll put both sides of the case. We'll try and get you both versions of the story as well as we go on.